You've got to shoot this bit, Margaret! You've got to shoot it!
Hello listeners and welcome to the Whiteout podcast in association with Ski Weekends. They offer great value short break ski holidays in catered chalets over a 3, 4 or even a 7-night period and fully flexible hotel options too. There's also dedicated solo holidays, group ski breaks, a programme that offers great value accommodation in some of the biggest and best ski areas, and even the chance to ski with Eddie the Eagle Edwards, who we had on last week. You can ski with him in Leger this winter with Ski Weekends, so visit skiweekends.com. How you doing, Rob?
Good. Yeah, hi, welcome everyone. I'm Rob, PR Director of Ski Press and General Ski and Gear Geek. That's my title these days. And that is, of course, my co-host, Dom, and he's publisher at In the Snow magazine.
Yeah, and together we make up the Whiteout podcast. So each week we talk about ski news from around the world. Where's best to ski now? We uncover the latest ski gear for the season, and we feature some of the best ski destinations on the planet.
I think you've just returned from Alpe d'Huez, Dom.
I have been in Alpe d'Huez. I've literally just arrived. First thing, hot-tailed in this morning, Rob. Just missed that last dump of powder. Had a great few days skiing out in Alpe d'Huez for the first few days prior to Christmas. Thought I'd get a pre-Christmas ski in. So it was very, very nice indeed.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I've been out myself, and I think we should sing the virtues of pre-Christmas skiing, Dom. I mean, it's been fantastic over the last couple of weeks. I've been in obviously very snowshore high-altitude resorts. It does help, like Tignes, Val Thorens. I was also in Crans-Montana. But still, the snow line is now coming down. It's fairly low, and it's looking good for Christmas and New Year.
Totally agree, Rob. We should be singing the virtues. 'Tis the season to be skiing. I was really impressed. I haven't been pre-Christmas for many years. I normally go over New Year. And I was very impressed. I really enjoyed it. Singing its praises, had a great time there. And they've just had another dump after I left. Very unfair. Can't believe they organised that for me leaving. But they also organised a dump for me arriving. So I arrived in the snow and I left in the snow. Brilliant. So all good.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen literally this morning, all the webcams out there, snow down to pretty low levels, actually, in the Alps. It did rain a little bit yesterday, which actually can be quite good for the base. It freezes over again, it snows on top. Happy days. How's your body holding up, Dom? I mean, we've got some pretty big trips coming up this season. How's things holding up?
Rob, if anybody's watching on YouTube, I'm flexing right now. I'm feeling quite fit at the moment, Rob. I've been doing a little bit of gym work. I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight before Christmas. Yeah, feeling good. I've enjoyed my skiing, definitely. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to know. I must say, after about 12 days skiing already, I'm glad to say I am actually feeling fitter than before I started.
Right.
Because I wasn't that well prepared this season, which is bad. I thought I was a bit out of shape. But actually, the skiing that I've done, I've come back in a better shape than I did when I left. So I'm happy.
Well, good on you. That's good. And of course, we have our Ski Fit column within the snow with Amy Fuller.
I should have paid more attention to Amy's Ski Fit sessions before I actually went skiing. But anyway.
Well, you see, if you get the magazine or if you head over to inthesnow.com, you'll be able to see the Ski Fit with Amy Fuller. She does these amazing poses. Got to say, Rob, I'm not that fit. I'm fit enough to ski, but I'm not fit enough to do the moves that she was making. But so, yeah, good on her. She's doing very well at that. So definitely, if I'm going out in an evening, it's pushing it if I have more than 3 beers, that's for sure.
I did a little exercise and I researched some calorie burn over a day skiing based on 6 hours on the slopes.
Oh, wow.
Including lift rides, 3 meals a day and 3 large beers, talking about beers.
Okay. That sounds like me. Three meals and 3 beers is...
Okay. Well, I'm only little, Dom, and 3 large beers is quite a lot for me. I mean, yeah, it's fine, but, sometimes the après ski might push it beyond that, but I'm talking about averages here.
Okay.
And I have actually been known to have an early night once in a while.
You've been known to have an early night, Rob. That's not you. What, in 1986 when you were about, 15 years old?
Yeah, probably was the last time, actually. Anyway, look, I put this whole question about skiing and eating and calories to our trusty AI helper, actually.
Okay.
Great question, Rob.
You've trained it to like you already.
Yeah, true. Skiing holidays are often a mix of calorie-burning activity and indulgent meals and drinks. Sounds good to me, right? Yep. Here's a breakdown to estimate whether you're in a calorie deficit or surplus. Right, then it went calories burned while skiing. Yep. Active skiing, including lift rides for 6 hours, burns about 400 to 600 calories per hour, depending on intensity, body weight, and fitness. For a 75 kilogram person, which is about me, skiing at a moderate intensity, 450 times 6 hours equals 2,700 calories burned.
Yep.
This number might be lower if lift rides make up a significant portion of the time, right?
Okay.
Are you with me? Are you with me? Following me?
I'm with you.
So calories consumed then, 3 meals a day, which is typical ski holiday food. We're talking about breakfast, 600 to 800 calories, croissants, eggs, bacon. Lunch, 800 to 1,000 calories. Think tartiflette, pizza, hearty soup with bread, that sort of thing. And dinner, right? 1,000 to 1,200 calories, like big meals like raclette, fondue, or pasta. So total meals, 2,400 to 3,000 calories. 3 pints of beer, right? It's 200 calories, so that's 600 calories. So our net calories burned skiing, 2,700. Calories consumed, 3,000 to 600. Result, right? Yeah. So even with skiing, you're likely to end up in a slight calorie surplus, 300 to 900 calories. However, if you adjust portion sizes or skip a course, you could balance it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And if your skiing is more intense, or you ski more than 6 hours, you could definitely dip into a deficit, which I know I have. I've been eating and drinking my way around the Alps for the last 2 weeks, but I've also been skiing, and I'm in better shape than I was when I left.
The après dancing's probably sorted you out, Rob. Definitely getting you shaping up for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think skiing's great exercise. And if you are eating 3 large meals a day plus drinking and still managing to stay calorie neutral, I say that is a result. It's a good holiday result.
Conclusion then, just enjoy your ski holiday.
Skiing holidays. Where else can you stuff yourself and drink the night away and stay fit at the same time?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In fact, I sat down next to 4 people in a restaurant that were having that, and they definitely overcooked it on the cheese front for sure. They had this massive, you know how they come, but they had really definitely overordered. So
it was quite funny actually. Last weekend we ski toured up a mountain, and then we got to a mountain hut where they serve cheese fondue, and all my group were saying, yeah, you know what, I mean, cheese fondue, it's great at lunchtime, but I'm only going to have 1 or 2 bits. They said 1 or 2 bits because that's enough.
Yeah.
Did they have 1 or 2 bits? No.
Not a chance.
Everyone had just literally consumed enormous amounts of cheese and kept going, oh, this is so good, and just kept on having more.
Say out of all of that is that we don't encourage too much drinking.
Definitely not.
And even in the evening, it's very tricky on the high altitude, and just keep on drinking the water as well. Stay hydrated and don't booze it on the slopes. You see some people coming down on those slopes that have had too much to drink. Not good.
I mean, everything in moderation. I think Oscar Wilde might have said that, but then he added, including moderation itself. Which I always quite like that quote. But
anyway. Well, good to see you then, Rob. Let's get into our news for this week.
Absolutely. So, first news story is Vail Resorts is eyeing further expansion in the Alps. This follows their recent acquisition of the lift company at Crans-Montana, Switzerland, where they now control the ski area operations. While Vail Resorts typically owns entire resorts in the US, their involvement in Crans-Montana is currently limited to the ski area itself. But the strategic move by Vail Resorts signals their intent to expand their European footprint and solidify their position as a major player in the global ski industry.
Yeah, could be interesting, couldn't it? We're all looking out for who's going to be next.
I've got an idea or two. Not going to start rumours here.
Moving on, we visited the new Jandri Express in Deux Alpes in the ski resort there. They've put in this fabulous new cable car that we talked about, and I just thought it was very interesting that actually we produced a video about this, and it's only been live a week and already had 10,000 views. So clearly people are very interested in this Jandri Express
Great video
lift that's gone in. So that used to be a 40-minute journey up the hill, and now only 17 minutes, and used to be, I think I'm right in saying, about 17 pylons, and now it's 3 or 4. Can't remember. I know we talked about it about a week ago. $140 million spent, or euros, or whatever they are. Yeah, very impressive. I mean, amazing lift, and 10,000 people have watched it. Go over to our YouTube channel in the Snow Mag and watch that video, because it does look pretty interesting.
Great video, nicely explained what's happening on that lift, and it looks absolutely incredible.
Cool.
What a piece of engineering.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing I saw was Breckenridge, Rob, because I was out there last year. They have done the world record for the longest ski shot. You know, where you put all the shots along the skis and you tip it up and you all have a shot. Well, they've done the longest one ever on December the 13th. Over 1,400, well, in fact, 1,401 participants lined up along the main street, consuming a staggering 2,477 feet of spirits. That's pretty impressive. So 503 skis. They lined up and they had Bronchus Bourbon and Breckenridge Candy Cane Vodka. Previous record was in Park City, Utah. That's interesting because all of their booze is hidden behind the bar, isn't it?
Well, yes. Tricky place to break that record, but onto them.
Yeah. So they previously held the record at 1,385 participants in October. So it looks like a bit of rivalry between Park City and Breckenridge. What good fun. Love it.
Nice. Like that. Ambitious plan to develop a ski resort town in Hokkaido.
Oh, yeah.
Japan, of course. Yeah. It's a visionary project. It's underway to transform Kamui ski links, a hidden gem in northern Japan, of course, into a thriving resort town.
Yeah.
Led by legendary skier Gotomura and Niseko development veteran Nigel Abbott, Hokkaido Global KK has acquired land at the base of the resort to build a vibrant community.
Kamui ski links, look, very tiny. I mean, it's amazing. Okay. They developed that. Yeah, some good powder skiing there and nice tree skiing. It's really, really nice. I would never have envisaged it, but yeah, interesting.
It is interesting.
We probably don't need to say all that.
Just another quick funny story here, Dom, that I wanted to mention. I spotted recently.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix series about racing driver Ayrton Senna, based in Norfolk, England, UK, of course, where apparently Senna honed his driving skills back in the 1980s.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
No, neither did I. But the funny thing is that the Netflix series makers somehow thought that Norfolk has large alpine-style mountains.
Oh, I love it.
He has run a story about it on its website, and apparently it's been shared thousands of times.
I love it. Funny. You get all the Europeans travelling to Norfolk to come skiing. Pretty ironic, because actually it's probably the flattest part of certainly the UK, probably Europe.
Yeah, probably. I guess the researchers got it a little bit wrong, but it's been shared a lot.
Yeah, so. We could start marketing the Norfolk Alps.
They get these things wrong a lot. I remember a show called Sons of Anarchy. Do you remember that? It was a Netflix thing. They spent a whole season based in Northern Ireland, yet clearly filmed everything in the California hills, complete with a loud sound of cicadas at night. You know, it's like, that's not Belfast.
It's definitely not been to Northern Ireland, no, or Norfolk for that matter. Oh, this is another one I saw, Rob. I like funny ones, and I like places where I've already been. A Jeep driver arrested after getting stuck on the Northstar ski slopes. Okay. This driver was arrested after driving his Jeep up the ski slope in Northstar, which is Tahoe. Yeah. California Highway Patrol, which I've always wanted to get into a sentence. I'm sure you remember Chips and Puncharella.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, California Highway Patrol. They stopped him, and on their Facebook page it says the driver attempted to use the slopes as a hotel shortcut while allegedly under the influence of the boozing. So the driver's navigation detour proved pretty unsuccessful, leaving his Jeep stranded in the snow. That must be funny coming out in the morning and seeing somebody's car just slap bang in the middle of the slope. It's quite cool. Like that.
It can happen. Do not do that at home, people. Okay, no, it's wrong and bad. Yeah. But funny.
So, and finally, what have you got this week, Rob, for And Finally?
Well, I was chatting to our friends at Après Ski Bands last week and talking about quite a serious topic for the many British bands and musicians that come out to the Alps every winter to perform.
Oh, yeah.
They need work permits, or do they?
Oh, I presume that they did.
Well, yeah, but actually, if they are only doing stints of under 90 days, then they don't need a visa to play music. There's something called an A1 HMRC form. They need to complete that. But other than that, if they're getting paid into a UK company, it's fine.
Oh, right. Cool. What about over 90 days?
Yeah. Well, then they would need a visa. And actually, I then spoke to Dan Fox from Ski Weekends about this because they have employed 20 British seasonal workers this season.
Okay. So what's the deal there then?
Dan says it's hard. It takes a lot of time, but it is achievable.
Okay.
There's quite a lot of work involved by both employer and employee as well.
So as a Brit, you can work in France and the Alps post-Brexit.
You can, but you must first get a job with an employer who applies for a work permit, right? They hold the work permit. Once you've accepted the employment, a good employer will help you with all the information you need for a visa application, which is separate from a work permit.
Okay.
You need to go to a TLS, which is basically a visa centre. They're in Glasgow, Manchester and London.
Yeah.
Don't have to go to all three, just one. Yep. With your paperwork, and you have to do biometrics.
Okay.
The visa then allows work of up to 90 days. Right, I know this sounds complicated because this is for chalet staff specifically.
Right. Yeah.
It can then be extended for a further 90 days, and most people will get help with that from their employer.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. The permit is done by the employer.
Yep.
And the visa by the employee.
Okay.
Basically, to keep things simple.
Yeah.
But the employer should be able to help with both of those things.
So that's 90 days initially, then it's extended to another 90 days during the season?
Yeah, exactly. And then it's also possible to apply for what's called a pluriannual visa, done at the same time as that 90-day extension. This allows British people to do 3 successive winters of working up to 6 months at a time, including that first winter.
Oh, wow. So then you have a permit and a visa for 3 seasons.
Exactly.
Nice.
And crucially, I asked Dan when people should start this process, and he said initial applications for the job.
When they're 5.
Really. Get in early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the applications should start in the spring. Visa applications need to go in by the end of August, ideally.
Okay.
So start applying late March into April for the job itself. Don't leave it later than that.
I'm guessing a lot of companies are just employing people with EU working rights.
I mean, it's easier in some ways. But again, what Dan says is that although they currently employ Irish people, 3 Australians with EU rights, 1 French person, and a Polish person, that's their current roster.
I thought you were going to say, and a partridge in a pear tree, but carry on.
Well, they might have one of those as well.
Yeah.
It is the British that kind of find it easiest to understand the type of product, that chalet-style holiday,
right?
And the customer that books a holiday, basically.
So what about other jobs, like sort of ski instructors?
It's a good question. This appears to be a different story again, Dom.
Oh, my God.
Firstly, there's a lot of myths around British instructors working in the Alps, right? Maybe that's a conversation for another time. But basically, if you have the right qualification, British instructors can work in the Alps. It's possible. Right now, the challenge is the right to work following Brexit.
Okay. So I know instructors can work in Japan, Canada right now, for example, but maybe not in Switzerland.
Exactly. I mean, it's easier to work in Japan right now than Switzerland, if you're British. I caught up with Ron Smith in Verbier, right?
Yeah.
Ron Smith Ski Academy, of course. And he told me, as a Brit now, you can't go to the Alps to work as an instructor, which just...
Wow.
Now, they are taking on EU passport holders only. There was a window open for Swiss permits before the ban on Brits kicked in back in 2021, right? Where if you're already working in Switzerland as a Brit, you could apply for a permit, and the Swiss issued them pretty easily. They were good at that.
Yep.
It meant at the time established workers didn't have to leave their homes, basically. But now, even if you're the best ski instructor in the world, and British, Warren and other ski schools can't employ them, which is really sad. I mean, he suggests British instructors should just marry a Swiss person. It's the easiest way round.
That's always Warren's answer to everything.
Well, yes, that's true.
A Swiss person.
Yeah, that's a good point. The people that are there are lucky because they're established. I mean, they've got 20 British people working in Verbier, all with work permits that were established before. But it's impossible to get new Brits in.
Wow.
And there's no sign of any change, in his opinion. And he also reckons there's a number of work permits for instructors that are just not being used right now.
I suppose the best thing to do is check out the SBIT website and the employers that are listed on that website, because that's pretty handy.
We are going to have a chat with SBIT quite soon. I think in our next episode, we will have a bit of an update from them on what this situation is and how it's all working. But do check out the website at sbit.org.uk.
So I guess in the meantime, you're going to head out and play some music then, Rob.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, actually, my friends Alex and Kerry, I'm just going to shout out for them. They've just embarked on their first ever ski season.
Yes.
They're 2 musicians. Yeah, I mean, amazing. 2 musicians under the name of X and Y. They're currently in Morzine playing in the Cavern Bar this week, or they have been this week. Check out the X and Y on Instagram.
So cool.
They've had a brilliant time. I mean, actually, very quickly, I had a voice message from Alex yesterday.
Guys,
they've never skied. I fitted them out with a load of gear to keep warm, and they're travelling around the Alps.
They are literally like Englishmen in New York, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they ended up in Zermatt last weekend, out of the blue, because they had to go and cover for someone in Zermatt, which was brilliant. They ended up in the first ski resort they've ever been to in their life, Zermatt.
Amazing.
Right? But I'm just going to play this message from Alex. Here we go.
Hello, mate. Just thought you deserved to know that we're having an absolutely fucking wicked time. Really, really awesome. Tonight is gig 4 of 5 at Morzine. We've been here since Monday, and it's going very, very, very well. And that's all I've got to say, really. Just thank you very much, and hope you're doing well.
Oh, that's very heartwarming.
The fact is, they've never been out to a ski resort before, and they're having the time of their lives, these guys.
I think that's such a good story. We should get them on.
We need to get them on. They're quite talented.
So, Rob, what's next? Where is best to ski now? Let's do it, Rob.
Well, you kick off.
Well, we've got some exciting updates on snow conditions across Europe just in time for the Christmas and New Year holidays. We've seen some great snowfall in the Alps and the Pyrenees, of course, but making probably for one of the best starts this season in recent years. What are you feeling, Rob?
Yeah, definitely.
Winter chill?
Yeah, it's been snowing in a lot of places, and the cold temperatures are holding up. I mean, they're going back in the right direction again, especially at higher altitudes. We've got some great conditions for this sort of festive period. On-piste conditions are fantastic. Resorts are gearing up for one of the busiest times of the year. But I've been skiing in Val Thorens, Tignes, Grand Montana over the last couple of weeks, and I can tell you I've had some really, really great skiing. Let's break it down by area, shall we?
Yeah, all right. Well, let's start with the Alps, where things are looking pretty stellar. Most of the ski resorts are open now, and by the weekend, another 25% of ski areas will be opening up, giving skiers and snowboarders a ton of terrain to play with. So that's cool.
It's awesome. I banned that word last weekend, by the way. I had an American with us, and I banned the word awesome.
Or sick. I can't say sick. It's not right. It doesn't work for me. I think I'm just too old for that.
That word definitely was. So I just did, actually.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, the Alps have been good. Seen some cold weather. Good snow for this time of year. Definitely a solid start to the season. I spoke to Planet Ski reporter Simon Miller, who was in Tignes last week. Says the conditions are, quote, superb for the time of year.
Very good. Tignes is always a safe bet, I guess, especially with the early snowstorms we've had. But it's not just the French Alps that are looking good. Over in Austria, around 100 resorts are open. Mayrhofen has about 80% of its terrain open, so that's about 120 kilometres of slopes for everyone to enjoy. So pretty cool there.
Brilliant. Let's not forget about Switzerland. I mean, there's over 50 Swiss ski areas that are open now. Zermatt leads the way there with 100 kilometres of runs available. They're probably opening up as we speak more and more. It's looking like a really solid snowpack at those kind of higher altitudes in both French and Swiss Alps. Val Thorens reportedly having 115 centimetres of snow at the summit already.
Wow.
That's good.
Very cool. Great hearing that there's bunches of snow coming in, Rob. I think as we both experienced, there's no real sort of major off-piste yet. So if you are heading out, just be a little bit careful. But certainly on-piste conditions are absolutely fantastic at the moment. And if you're heading to Italy, you're in for a treat as well. Val Gardena has 150 kilometres of slopes open, thanks to some excellent snowmaking facilities. Around 60 Italian resorts are also now welcoming skiers and riders. So that's cool.
Absolutely, and don't forget the Pyrenees, because things have been a bit slower to start there, but they've really caught up nicely now in both French and Spanish Pyrenees. They've all seen some heavy snow in the past week. And Le Mongy in France, for example, is reporting over 1 metre of snow at resort level.
Wow.
Bakira-Beret is also looking pretty good now.
We had our special episode on Bakira-Beret a couple of weeks ago, so it's worthwhile looking that up. If you want to know about skiing in Spain, that lovely mix of culture and food and fabulousness and sunshine, and stopping in at Barcelona on the way, which is always good.
Nice.
So that's great improvement for the Pyrenees, which has had a bit of a tougher start to the season. But now, got a new snowstorm coming in this weekend. Conditions are definitely looking up. Speaking of snow, what does the forecast look like for the next couple of days, Rob?
Well, according to the weather experts, Dom, we can expect more snow over this weekend. It's already snowing, especially in the Western Alps. Places like Alpe d'Huez are in for a bit more than a dusting, I think.
Yeah.
The real heavy snow is hitting the Northern Alps. So if you're like looking at places like Engelberg in Switzerland or Lech in Austria, definitely going to get a decent snowfall there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's massive. I don't think we're talking massive dumps. I mean, if I look at the forecast, we are talking. Some places are predicting 1 metre. Talking to people on the ground, they are slightly more cautious about saying that, but they're certainly saying they're going to get significant snowfall down to lower levels, and potentially 40 to 50 centimetres of snow, which, let's face it, isn't bad, right?
Yeah, so overall, that looks like a nice weekend to come. I think people heading out for Christmas are going to be in for a bit of a treat. I don't think they'll be wading around in metres of powder, but I do think they're going to have a good time skiing like we've just had in Alpe d'Huez, where the on-piste conditions were absolutely fantastic. Nice and sunny as well. But looking across the pond, Rob, what about? We've got California, Lake Tahoe resorts boasting impressive snow depths with 20 to 85 inches. That's 50 centimetres to us, up to 2.2 metres on the ground. Palisades Tahoe has received 1.93 metres this season so far, including 43 centimetres over the weekend. And Mammoth Mountain also reports a base of 50 to 85 inches. So, they're all inches over there, aren't they? What else have we got?
Yeah, I mean, over in Wyoming, Jackson Hole has experienced a really significant snowfall recently, with 3 feet falling in just 3 days. And in fact, I spoke to Dan Egan, who was just across the other side of Yellowstone Park in Montana, and he said exactly the same thing. They've had 3 feet of snow over a less time than that. It's absolutely, it's check the webcams out. It looks absolutely amazing.
Big snow, there is big risk. So there's definitely Idaho, one person died in an avalanche near Boise, I think it is, despite wearing an avalanche transceiver. Montana, a skier was caught and buried in an avalanche at Bridger Bowl ski area and was fortunately recovered uninjured. Wyoming, a level 4 avalanche warning, extreme danger is in effect for the Togwotee Pass area. I read about Sun Peaks as well. Unfortunately, a skier lost their life in the out of bounds area this week. So super careful in those areas, certainly in these American and Canadian resorts where they're getting some big snowfall. Just be super, super careful and keep a look out for the avalanche warnings.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're going backcountry, in other words, beyond the skiing area boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up, our Gear Buyer's Guide, Rob. What do we got for this week?
Oh, we're diving into something super important for every skier or snowboarder, and it is the helmet. We've rounded up some of the best ski helmets for the 2024-25 season. So, whether you're looking for some style or certainly safety or something maybe eco-friendly, we have got that covered. So Let's have a look at it.
So, Rob, going and buying a helmet, let's just do a quick run through of what people should be looking for in a helmet, because you've talked about style, safety, eco-friendliness, that sort of stuff. Ventilation's big. I get really hot with a helmet on. I'm the first person. I get on a ski lift, first thing I do, take my hat off because I'm always hot. So I like plenty of ventilation and I like it to be adjustable. So on a really cold day, I want to shut it off. But on a warm day, I want to open it up. So that's key for me. What about you?
Well, I'd agree with that. Actually, having that helmet where you can ventilate it is so important. And if it's a bit colder, you can put like a buff underneath it as well. Very, very easy. So you've got the best of both worlds. A boa fit helmet where you can really tighten it to the head is important. I do not like a loose helmet. It does not feel safe. It does not feel good. You want that helmet to be sort of nice and snug on the head.
So talking in terms of fit, your helmet should go on your head snugly. It shouldn't pinch your head really tightly because that's going to give you a horrible day. Right. As you lift it off your head, it should lift your eyebrows up and then come off your head. And then you should be able to tighten that boa, which is the dial in at the back, to cinch it in on your head to make it nice and snug on your head.
You've got the MIPS technology as well that is built into a lot of the higher end helmets, which adds extra protection if you have an impact with that helmet. It's designed to move with your brain and reduce the impact of your brain hitting the inside of your skull. It sounds absolutely horrible. MIPS is designed to help mimic that movement and therefore reduces tension basically and pressure.
Yeah. Talking of MIPS, it's not just MIPS. There are other technologies out there. I know Atomic have their own version. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it in the show notes. And as you say, when you look inside that helmet, it's just like a movable internal layer that actually moves almost independently of the shell of the helmet. And that's just that extra bit of safety for when you're hitting the slope in an oblique angle, which I've really been enjoying on my most recent helmet, is the Fitlock. When you're doing up the clasp underneath your chin, it's like a magnetic clasp and it just automatically clips on and feels really secure. And then literally you pull the cord again and it just undoes and works really, really well. So I always look out for the Fitlock as well. So yeah, very, very nice.
Yeah, I've got a few different helmets. Some of them have got the Fitlock on. Some have just got a standard clip. You just get used to that. Once you get used to that Fitlock, it works really, it's so easy. Once you've done it 2 or 3 times, it's like the easiest thing to unclip and clip onto a helmet. Yeah. You did a really good video recently, Dom, looking at various different helmets. I think we should play that for our listeners because it explains everything and it reviews a load of different helmets.
Love it, Rob. Thank you very much. I'll take the centre stage now as we listen to my YouTube video, which you can also check out on our YouTube channel at In the Snow Mag and see the best helmets for 2024-25. Let's take a listen, Rob. In the lucky position we get loads of ski gear every year to review, and some of our most popular videos are the best of. So this is the best ski helmets for 2024-25 season. First up, Salomon Brigade Index helmet. Here, as you'd expect from a brand like Salomon, you've got cutting edge safety and comfort and eco-friendliness as well. Hard shell construction, EPP4D energy absorbing liner, which means it absorbs 30% more energy on impact than not having it. Custom dial 360 V-fit system at the back here, so you get that really nice snug fit, super slick. Love that 360 V-fit dial system. Airflow concept ventilation just means you don't get that really sweaty head. You get nice air into the helmet and it stops your goggles misting up as well. This is made from 98% recyclable material, so it makes it a super sustainable option, which is also very high on our radar. I love the fact that they've put in the goggle holder at the back there, and it's all integrated into the helmet, keeping it super sleek. So quick reminder on this helmet, ventilation concept, which is smart, custom dial V-fit system here at the back, ABS outer shell, EPP4D liner, plus a removable washable liner, beanie compatible, V-shaped ear pads, goggle strap holder, priced at around £100–130 depending on the retailer. Decent top tier protection here without compromising on eco consciousness. So that's our number one here. I like that. These are in no particular order, although the last one is my favourite. So next up, we have got the Bolle X Fusion Pure helmet. Forget everything you know about visor helmets, because this is pretty much a goggle built in. It's a fully integrated visor, so you get this seamless harmony between the helmet and the visor, including for all those people wearing normal ophthalmic glasses. Fits in nice underneath here. You get a wide field of view from these frameless cylindrical design. Maximum field of view, really smart. Adjustable ventilation on the top here, so that's super slick. Really nice fine adjustments as well, so you can control how much air is coming into your head. Make sure you get the perfect temperature control there, so that's really slick on the top here. You get great fit here as well, thanks to the BOA fit system. Provides those micro adjustments, which is super slick, so full customization for the size of your head. It's a really comfy helmet actually, and you can see the adjustments right at the back there, depending on how big your head is. So the X Fusion Pure benefits from their eco-design approach with the visor, plastic, fabric parts, all made from recycled materials. So at Bolle, they're not saying they're saving the planet, but they are saying they're doing their best to help reduce their impact. All new winter sports products are eco-designed with more than 20% recycled or bio-based materials. That's percentage in weight. For instance, they use recycled polystyrene for the inner shell and recycled polycarbonate for the outer shell of their helmets, and the goggles and frame and adjusters are all made with renewable castor oil, which is quite amazing. That's the X Fusion Pure. It comes in matte black, white and mineral matte black. Not sure what the two blacks are in terms of difference. It comes in at £260. They also do a Fusion for £330, which has photochromatic lens, and £400 if you want the MIPS 2. Very, very slick looking helmet. Look at that. You're going to look ultra cool on the slope. So that is the Bolle X Fusion helmet. Very smart. Love it. So next up, we have got the Oakley Mod 5. Slick helmet. Super high performance option if you're after safety, comfort and style. Lightweight hybrid shell. Check that out. Look at that lovely shiny finish with the nice matte finish black there. It's very, very smart. It's a super high performance option. It's got lightweight hybrid shell construction. Skull matrix basically makes sure you've got that super nice fit. You've also got MIPS here, multi-directional impact protection system for those more angled impacts. BOA 360 fit system at the back here, so you've got that nice precise fitting that when you put it on those more angled impacts. The other really nice thing that you're getting on a lot of helmets nowadays is the fidlock system on the buckle here, so it's magnetic, nice and tight, and then when you undo it, very, very easy, even if you're wearing gloves. It's got the ventilation zones, again, great airflow, keeps you cool or warm while reducing goggle fog, which I really like, and it's got a Polartec Power Grid lining system, so moisture wicking, removable, washable, ensures you stay dry and comfortable all day long. Great looking helmet, look at that, comes in plenty of colours and comes in at around £200 to £250 depending on how much you shop around. It's got this MBS brim system, so it's got great fit with all goggle types. We know you don't want that nasty gap between your helmet and your goggles. Next up is the Head Cinema Pro W visor helmet. Beautiful helmet for women here, hence the W. I'm not a visor wearer myself, but it's ideal for those people that like it integrated into the system. They say it's cutting edge technology, award-winning design, so you can get hold of the style and protection for female skiers. Free floating visor construction means you get superb visibility. Love the way that visor pops down, looks really, really neat. And great ventilation all around, ventilated mirror coated lenses that can easily be switched out, got an easy click lens exchange system as well, so that's very, very smart for all weather conditions. Thermal ventilation, UV 400 and anti-fog on the lens, and a removable net gaiter comes with this as well, so it's got that added warmth and comfort as well. It's a very nice slick helmet. Just look at the profile of that. It really does look super nice. And I love this deep plummy colour with the grey inserts as well. Certified to EN 1077 Class B, equipped with hard shell tech for maximum impact protection. So ladies, if you're wanting top tier performance and style on the slopes, this is a great option. It's around 120 quid, so a decent price too, for a goggle and helmet all built in one there. Really like that head helmet. Next up, this is a cracker, the Smith Nexus. Again, great protection and comfort with MIPS technology built in. Do you remember the MIPS logo that you've got just here? Always look out if you do want a MIPS helmet with the multi-directional impact protection technology. It's well worth spending the extra money. Again, as you'd expect for enhanced safety and during those oblique impacts that when you're having a crash, this is super comfy. And again, the system at the back for ensuring you get a nice, good fit. Ecoskeleton construction for increased side impact protection. A hybrid shell that combines lightweight performance with durable protection. This has actually got Coroid built in, which is the sort of honeycomb effect construction. Very light, very strong, very slick. And the BOA 360 system, which ensures you get that really nice tight fit without it being pinching or too tight. 24 adjustable vents on the top here. I mean, that is great for airflow. Snap-fit SL2 ear pads, which are removable for convenience. It's also audio compatible, comes with a Fidlock magnetic buckle again. So again, we're getting used to that on many of these helmets now, especially the sort of higher end models. Very, very easy. So it's completely secure and then very, very easily undone as well. So generally at the time of recording this, finding this for around 240 quid. Super slick helmet, really like it. Next up, the Oakley Mod BC. So if you're a backcountry skier, you're really going for the big stuff and you're up for some serious backcountry adventures, the Oakley BC is for you. So this is a game changer. Innovation and performance at its core. This helmet is all about safety, functionality, sleek design. Just look how smart the profile of that helmet is. Very, very slick. I love the colour as well. This is only 450 grams, okay? So it's super light, super nice. Triple certified for the highest safety standards, okay? MIPS, again, as you'd expect to see here, the MIPS badge as a helmet of this sort of caliber, you're going to expect that multi-directional impact protection system if you've forgotten for rotational impact. Reco technology built in for avalanche rescue, super slick. And it's also got twice NFC medical ID tech. So if you have an accident, first responders come out, scan the helmet, and they've got all of your medical information directly to hand. So that's super slick. Durable polycarbonate shell with an Ionic Plus antimicrobial liner, which is odor resistant and machine washable, perfect for those with a sweaty head. So a quick run through of the features. I love this Fidlock system. It's so slick, so easy. So quick reminder. BOA fit system means you get a great modular. So it includes a removable beanie with a visor and strategic ventilation all over, eliminating the need for those traditional liners, okay? Enhanced ventilation, adjustable, all right? So you can close off that airflow if you want to, but you get the great airflow around your goggles just here, which means that you don't get the goggle fogging. You've got the bungee strap at the back, great for keeping your goggle in place, but also for attaching to your backpack. This is Oakley's first helmet tailored for backcountry touring and ski mountaineering. It's combining ultra lightweight design, great versatility. I think it's a great looking helmet in a great colour combo that. Everything that you'd expect from an Oakley helmet there. Lots of colour options. I shopped around and prices are around £250 to £290. Really nice quality helmet for sure. And I just think it looks absolutely great for those backcountry skiers. Finally, the Sweet Protection Trooper 2VI MIPS helmet. I do like Sweet Protection, and I always feel like they're great build quality, advanced construction, and safety features. It integrates 2VI technology to enhance both comfort and protection with a multi-density shock-absorbing liner. Also got the MIPS as well. It's super comfy around the back there. Just a nice helmet. This integrates the TLC thermoplastic laminated carbon fiber shell, so you can see the carbon fiber running down here as well. Gives super strength without compromising on weight. It's got a snap-in liner, ensures comfort and is easily removable for washing as well. Their turn dial system at the back here is called OxyGrip. It's a fit system for those sort of more fine-tuning adjustments, so you get a tight fit without it pinching. you can make very minor adjustments. So it's got adjustable ventilation as well, an internal goggle garage compatible with audio systems as well. Ideal for free riders who want sort of top tier performance. About 250 to 300 pounds, but it's a really super nice helmet. I like it. What do you think? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with your ski pals. Check out some of our other ski reviews and destination reviews. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you soon. Yep, so there we go, really good. Some great helmets in there, some great technologies as well with things like Koroyd and MIPS that we've talked about, some nice recyclable materials there as well. So, you know, it's really nice helmets, basically. Love it.
Yeah, great.
Which one are you going to buy?
Well, I've got a Burn helmet at the moment. I'm sort of religiously using.
Wow.
I've had it for at least 2 seasons, and I just find it really comfortable and light, and it works for me.
Like a park rat helmet. Proper
it's a
park
little
rat.
bit parky.
It is parky.
Kind of, I don't look complete in it. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, I sometimes I put a helmet on and I go, oh, I really do look like a bit of a dork.
Yeah.
I'm the sort of person that I'll ski all day, right?
Then you slip over in the street.
Blow my own trumpet, Dom. But, you know, I might ski off piste, I might ski quite fast, you know, all of those kind of things. And then I'll take my skis off and I walk down the steps and I'll fall over.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, or I'll turn around, someone swings a ski into my head.
Nothing to do with your 3 big beers that you had.
Nothing to do with that parade. And so for me, I'm like, I feel comfortable in that helmet and I feel safer in the helmet.
Yeah, I feel the same. So helmet or no helmet, do contact us and let us know, are you a helmet wearer or not a helmet wearer? So what have we got next? Our destination showcase this week. Rob, where are we talking about this week?
Oh my goodness. I mean, this place, Dom, this place. Honestly, I am very intrigued about this destination. A destination that I'm sure I'm speaking for you as well, Dom, a few weeks ago, we'd never even heard of.
Absolutely.
As a ski destination.
No, absolutely. And I'm going to be going out there at the end of February. So early this week, you spoke with the fabulous Martin Cavell, CEO at Cape Smokey. Cape Smokey is a resort. Incredible developments going on there in Cape Smokey in Nova Scotia. So, yeah, very interesting. How was that?
Martin is obviously very passionate about this destination, very knowledgeable about this destination. And in this interview, he talks a lot about what this place is like. And he actually paints a really good picture in your mind about what you can expect when you get to Cape Smokey, what you're going to see, what you're going to experience, and how you're going to feel when you're there. And I can tell you what, I was a bit like, oh yeah, it looks interesting. And after this interview, I'm like, Martin, I'm coming. I am coming to Cape Smokey, right? Look, you can buy great snow conditions, right? Tons of snow with a wilderness area and the wildlife that you can see there. And this incredible seafood that just comes straight off the sea. I mean, everything is right up my street. I mean, it's like, this just sounds incredible. And
Rob,
I want to go.
Let's have a listen.
So, hi, Martin. How are you doing?
Oh, great. It's starting the ski season, so it's all going in the right directions.
Great. It's good to see you. Right, let's start with the basics. You know, whereabouts is Cape Smokey, right? And how do we get to you from the UK? Tell us about that.
We are just 5.5 hour flight from your Heathrow airport, directly to Halifax, and then it's a quick drive to up in here in beautiful Cape Breton. We are the closest ski resort to the ocean. We are just 158 meters away from the Atlantic Ocean. So it's quite a scenic drive to come up here, and you're driving on these meandering roads on the coastline, somewhere where you feel like you would find yourself in summer, with the exception that we have on average over 6 meters of natural snowfalls. If you ever want to ski to the ocean with the comforts of a lovely gondola and confuse your body by staying in a lovely villa on the beach, and you hear the waves crashing onto the beach, then you open the door and you're like, oh my God, what is this snow doing here? We are the place.
Wow. It does sound amazing. You've already set the scene. I mean, you fly into Halifax then, Nova Scotia, and how do you get there from the airport? How exactly does that work?
You have actually 3 options. From Halifax, it's a 4-hour drive directly to us. Or you can opt for a helicopter ride, which is then 1.5 hours for us. or you can hop to a additional airport, which is Sydney Airport. It's just there's no international flights to there, and that's an hour away from us. So you could hypothetically fly to Halifax, then have a 45-minute flight to Sydney, and then an hour drive to our place.
Yeah, a few different options, including a helicopter ride from the airport. How long does that ride take?
Hour and a half is with the helicopter, and for a lot of Europeans, that's like, oh my God, helicopter has to cost arm and a leg. I will tell you, it's not cheap, but it's surprising how affordable it is to have a flight of your lifetimes. And you see the ocean and the icebergs coming. So it's part of the experience to come here. You're really coming to somewhere where you have to really squint to see the wilderness. Here it's the other way around. You have the comforts of everyday civilization. You have the beautiful scenery, which are this way, but you are in the wilderness, cocooned in the modern day life civilization. So it's I don't know where anywhere else you would fly over the helicopter. You would say the icebergs meandering down onto the ocean. You see a lot of snow. You see wildlife coming at the same time, and you can ski here, backcountry ski, surf and surf, and the same days to cross off your bucket list. And it's a winter playground, for lack of a better experience.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds very, very unique and very different to most of the skiing experiences we're used to. I mean, is Cape Smokey as a ski area? Has it been there for a long time, or is it new, and how's it developing?
It depends how you look at it. It's the original ski area was built in 1971 by actually a gentleman from Quebec. And then Nova Scotia as a whole in the early 90s hit a couple of speed bumps in its way where all the steel plants here closed. There was a lot of restrictions in mining and have fishing restrictions and so on and so on. So it was a tough time in the early 90s in this area where we are. And so basically the ski resort closed in 1993. So we founded this lovely property and purchased it in 2019. So you couldn't even tell there was a ski area here. You had the runs were completely ingrown. The original lodge was, well, you can imagine it if somebody left for 30 years, a place, how it probably looked like.
Yeah, right.
So we basically restarted it in like a phoenix from the ashes. We decided that it was kind of an all year round destination because it's not only for skiers, over 1,000 kilometers of snowmobiling trails as well. And all of this kind of great adventure is you don't have to come here just to ski. It's for the outdoor adventure. It's for the outdoor experience. You can go surfing at the same time. You can go Nordic skiing, snowshoeing, backcountry skiing, and be at the same place. And most importantly, the baffling experience of being on a beach. We have a lovely brand new gondola. We have brand new snowmaking, 78 villas across the road, where you're going to, again, be right on the Atlantic Ocean. When you open the doors, you have a lovely terrace there. You will have a hot tub there. You can soak in. You can almost hear the glasses clinking of the champagne overlooking the ocean. In the wintertime, the ice floating in it. And behind you, you have a over 1,000 feet vertical drop ski hill. Words cannot describe this experience, what you will have here. I can promise one thing, there's not such a secondary experience, which I'm aware of.
Well, you certainly paint the scene, and the words are definitely conjuring up these images of Atlantic skiing and being in these hills and mountains around the sea with all this stuff going on in a wild place. I mean, as a place that you would imagine is nowhere near big cities or big populations. So what about the wildlife then? I guess there's wildlife both on land and off the land in this area. So what sorts of things might you expect to be seeing?
Yeah, so as any of these kind of places, there's a big moose population around here.
Oh, yeah.
They're quite majestic animals, It's every single time I see them, you always forget how big they are, It's like if somebody parked a school bus next to you. We don't have any dangerous bears around here. We have just the black bears, which if you know the saying, they say if it's black, make yourself big. If it's brown, try to make yourself small.
Yeah.
And if it's white, you have
Run.
to put your praise in order and hope that it doesn't do for some odd reason in terms of bears, right? So fly fishing is here absolutely fantastic. Salmon, there is the freshest lobster there, with the local fishermen. There is many arguments that the best lobster is in Nova Scotia, and the locals will tell you the best lobster of them all is here in Ganesh. So if you're looking for seafood, this is the place to be. There is also lovely whale watching, too, especially in the summertime.
Okay.
And seals, cormorants, all of this kind of exciting animals with puffins you can imagine. You're truly somewhere where you can see animals. Oh, and I forgot, obviously, the most majestic animal of them all is the bald eagle, here.
Okay, you get bald eagles up there,
here.
right?
That's quite spectacle, and I might be butchering the facts, but I want to say that overwhelming majority of bald eagle population lives on the Cape Breton island in the world. So it's not a rarity that you will see one. It is almost a guarantee because we, for example, have at Cape Smokey a nest at the top, and they're quite majestic animals.
I saw a bald eagle in the wild once, not that long ago, and I was with a group of Americans, and I spotted it, and they were like, "Oh my God, it's a bald eagle," and most of them hadn't seen one before. And then they were Americans, so that's pretty cool that you're probably likely to see a bald eagle in the wild.
Oh, yes.
We touched on the food there then. I mean, obviously seafood being by the sea and lobsters, I guess you're having lobster for breakfast, literally.
Oh, very much so. You can have it breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow. Okay. And what else? We're talking about the lovely wildlife. I guess some of that wildlife is also sometimes on the table as well. Is it kind of moose burger territory?
Yeah, you can get it's not for the moose to get moose meat, you need to know it's something you can get here, a little bit rarer. The fishing industry is very big here. Majority of the locals are fishermen. So having a halibut or a lobster or scallops or these kind of things that you can walk down to the wharf with them. That's not an exaggeration. A crab, that's something what you have in abundance over here.
Yeah, okay.
Basically.
So far, so good. We've got amazing scenery, landscapes, sea, mountains and snow, wildlife, whales, moose, bald eagles. And we also want to talk a bit about the skiing and the actual facilities that you have for skiing there. Just give us a quick overview of the ski area. How long are some of the runs? How many lifts have you got? Who it suits best and that kind of thing.
Very much so. So I think the best is to start is where the journey started as well, because we purchased it in 2019 with the idea to make this a world-class ski area as a whole. We are right now in end of 2024, where we have put in the brand new gondola to go to the top, which has over 1,000 feet vertical drop. Okay. We have plans with the next 2 years to extend onto the other hill, which we have there, which is another 100 meters taller with a vertical drop. So it would, it's my feet conversions are a little bit rusty, but let's call it will be 1,200 feet like vertical drop. Yeah. Right now we have, give or take, 150 acres of skiable terrain. With expansion to the other hill, we will be more than doubling it. And we are in the process of building everything up. Next winter, we will be opening another 27 villas. The summer after that, it will be another 22. So we have a plan to build a small village below it, which would have 1,000 beds on the ocean with beautiful views, gorgeous scenery. And because we're also part of the national park here, you can take it for granted that the nature around you will not be disturbed. And you are cocooned in it. I think the biggest advantage of us from any other place what I have seen is that it's not uncommon that you get 1.5 meters snowfall. How we are on the ocean, you get the ocean effect. And nobody has been able to explain to me, but majority of the time it snows, it's very dry snow. The fact that we are right next to the ocean. So in February, beginning of March, you get big dumps of snowfall. Last year, it was over 1.5 meters, 2 snowfalls back to back, for example, with this 3 days apart. So if you are into powder skiing, and when, my background was a ski racer. So I have skied a lot of ski areas all the way from Japan to New Zealand to Chile to pretty much everywhere in Europe. Is when I say that these are big snowfalls, before I got here, I have never seen a snowfall of this size in my life.
Right. Okay.
It's like, I'm talking about not over 3-4 days you are getting 1.5 meters. I'm talking about in 24 hours you are getting 1.5 meters. Like it's if you haven't, I've seen it for the past 4 years happen, and I still don't understand how it happens.
Right.
It's completely out of this world, and and I think that's the most fascinating about this. I think the skiing here is for people who are adventurous. I think it's for the people who want to find the new frontier, but at the same time, they want to be cocooned in the comforts that they want. They don't want to be outside in nature. They want to be in a gondola because they know they can ski longer and be in the comfort of it. They want to have nice Chardonnay when they are finished with skiing, and not live in a tiki hut, where they have to set their own fire. So
and what is the accommodation then? I mean, where are people staying right now if they're going to Cape Smokey? Where are they going to stay typically?
We have series of lovely chalets right on the ocean front. We have beautiful villas, for example. If people want to look it up, it's called the redheadcliffs.com, right looking on the ocean, where you will feel like a James Bond supervillain when you're staying out. It's right over the cliff. Some people say if you squint hard enough, you might see Britain. So I think the people who would come here for the skiing is the combination of people who want to experience incredible powder skiing, to come ski to the ocean and have a lovely experience out of it. But at the same time, they perhaps have a family with them, where not everybody is diehard skiers. And it's the other activities, what they can do here and enjoy. That's the kind of client that you have. It's for somebody who wants to check off their bucket list that, oh, I skied to the ocean and I surfed in the same day. I went snowmobiling, because let's be honest, snowmobiling in majority of places in Europe is illegal right now. I think the exception is maybe Finland or Sweden. I tend to forget which of the Scandinavian nations it is.
Yeah.
But so if you want to try, let's say the forbidden fruits, that's the skiers. It's skiers who want to party until 4 o'clock in the morning and find themselves parked in a snowbank after the night. That's not the scene you will find here. No. You will find the people who love the outdoors, love the adventure, love the fact that Mother Nature here is unpredictable. And you can think, and that from that unpredictability, the beauty kind of erases that. You get conditions where you don't get in many places else in the world.
Just with the accommodation on that side, is there a restaurant there now? So tell us a little bit about that.
There is in the local area, there is 4 restaurants where you can pick from. It's when I say you're in the middle of wilderness, I don't mean that you are going to be fencing off with yourself.
That's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah. Hey, here's a moose out there. Go and find your dinner.
There is normal civilization around here in that respect. You have 4 restaurants, which we have here, which can serve you all local, beautiful produce.
Yeah, right.
Everything is kind of home cooked. It's, the beautiful is that Canadians, as most people are aware, are very friendly, and especially the people from Atlantic Canada are very friendly bunch. So you will become people will know your name by end of the trip. You stay here, you feel like part of the family. People invite people to their homes to have dinner with them as well. But there are 4 restaurants in Ganesh which operate all year round, serve delicious local food. Most of it is seafood, actually, for obvious proximity to the ocean. And there is lovely cottages right on the ocean front, because you have to remember, in the summertime, we are right next to a golf course, which is 84th in the world, number 4th in Canada. Not far from us is Inverness as well. Not the one you're thinking of in your neck of the woods, but here we have the copycat Inverness, if you will, which has 2 golf courses as well, which is in top 100 golf courses in the world. I think they're number 4 and 8 or something like that. So the accommodations follows that kind of a theme of the summer clientele, which is here from the golfers. So I think people don't have to worry about sleeping outside in a sleeping bag and having people to shoot them, if you like.
Okay, so you're setting the scene there for the accommodation as well. There's some pretty, nice accommodation that can handle basically kind of anybody by the sounds of things. When do you expect the snow to disappear? How long can you ski for? When does the snow disappear and that summer season start to kick in?
So we always tend to open before Christmas a little bit. That's usually the timeline we shoot for. But on the other hand, the positive is when the ocean does freeze, and it does freeze, it's that you have the icebergs on it. It works like a fridge in the springtime. We always close on end of April because, to be quite honest, in end of April, we run out of usually more people than snow. So realistically speaking, we could have been skiing always in May or a little bit into May, but there was not until this point a business opportunity to do so. And then we open for summer in June again. So June usually around 10th or 12th, something on those terms for the summer season. And we are open for the summer where we have at the top of the hill lovely kayaking, frisbee golf, hiking, cross country, mountain biking, beautiful, beautiful sightseeing, and where you can connect with the nature, see some of the animals as well. And at the base of it, you have lovely beaches. In the summertime, the water goes, over 20 degrees Celsius. And so people stay on the beaches. It's normal summer destination with beaches, you go swimming and so on and so on. You can go whale watching. Fall colors are absolutely lovely, seeing all the maple leaves change colors. And that's so that it runs to the end of October and then back into winter again.
Bit of a break and straight into winter.
Yeah, so we are open all year round pretty much.
Sounds amazing, Martin. Well, I definitely feel like I can picture Cape Smokey a lot better than I could before this conversation. It genuinely sounds very exciting, very, very much like one of those places where, completely different to what we're used to doing. It's got so many elements to it. I mean, actually, I've got one last question for you. It's a very simple question, but I presume that the first language in the area is English. Is that right?
That is correct. People speak English here. I always jokingly say many people, it's their dream destination to go to Japan, right? But many times the cultural and language barrier and the immense flight is a barrier to entry for a lot of people. I would say this is the mini Japan kind of, very similar climate for lack of a better or the worse. Yeah. So give it a shot before you travel across the whole world.
Amazing. Flight across the Atlantic, but the closest part for us, potential helicopter ride to make that last bit of the trip, which sounds very, very cool. Stay right on the sea, on the Atlantic Ocean, with icebergs or whales and lobsters and crabs and halibut, one of my favorite fishes. And then ski in amazing snow conditions. I mean, obviously, potentially ski in like huge, epic powder kind of snow, but also ride up in a brand new super modern gondola lift, stay in what sounds like amazing accommodation and see some pretty cool wildlife all at the same time. And you don't even have to switch languages. So that's pretty interesting. So thanks, Martin. How would people go and check out Cape Smokey for the first time and see if they want to book something there? Where would you go?
Very much so. It's capesmokey.ca. You will find us there. And for a lot of the people who want to come here, and they fly to the Alps, where majority fly to Geneva, then it's a 4-hour drive with a bus. If you compare it, we are not that much farther away than the Alps for you guys. So we hope to see you here.
Yeah. All right. I hope to see you too, Martin. Thanks very much. We might leave it at that.
Very much so. Very much so.
All right. Great. Thanks, Martin. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, well, I get what you mean there, Rob. I mean, that is spectacular. He does sell it well, and I am, to be fair, feeling quite smug about the fact that I'm going out there in just a couple of months' time.
Yeah, well, I can tell you what, I'm working on it. And in fact, honestly, after that interview, I thought, I've got to find a way from going to Cape Smokey. I'm definitely working on that one. I mean, it's just the fact that you're going to Nova Scotia to ski to start with. Yeah. But the fact is that you can, you're just in this remote wilderness area right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, kind of facing St. Pierre and Miquelon, if that's how you call it as well. He didn't mention that, but it's an independent territory that's kind of semi-governed by Canada, but it's a completely independent territory off the coast of Nova Scotia. Wild seas, wild landscapes, bears, eagles, moose. I mean, yeah, it's just
very
incredible.
exciting.
Yeah, and it's not far. You know, I mean, it's a 4.5 hour flight from London.
Amazing, isn't it?
I mean,
Makes it very accessible. Yeah.
Basically.
Sounds good. So that's it, listeners, for this week. It's been a good ride today. We've covered everything from helmets to Nova Scotia, Cape Smokey, and all the news that's going on around the world, as well as the fantastic snow conditions that are coming into the Alps across Europe and into North America over this coming festive period. That's it for us for Christmas. Don't forget to leave a review for us on your favourite podcast hosting, which might be Spotify, it might be Apple, it might be YouTube. Lots of listeners on YouTube now. Getting lots of comments in. We'll start answering those after Christmas. We'll be back in the new year, Rob. Where are you for Christmas? Are you at home?
I'm at home for Christmas, Dom.
I'm at home for Christmas too.
Skiing's over for now.
Skiing's over for now. In the meantime, whatever you're doing over the festive period, listeners, do have a good, safe time. Remember, ski responsibly, drink well, enjoy the festive break. Rob, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you too, Dom.
And I will see you in the new year.
Cheers.
Walkie-walkie. I'm pretty sure it's called a walkie-talkie, mate.